Hey YouTube, I wanted to make a video addressing the question, should we as Christians celebrate Passover or Easter? And it's probably not a question too many Christians have asked themselves, because it's kind of like a duh, I celebrate Easter kind of thing, because it's just what the Christianity world has associated themselves with, celebrating Easter and Christmas and, those traditions like that. But as me and my husband have been on this journey to discover truth from tradition and learn to serve Yahweh in His way and not by the world's way and the man's way and not by the Christianity modern world scene way, we have discovered that Easter is not Christian at all. Its roots are deeply buried in paganism. And I know this is going to be piercing to hear to some people, shocking, unveiling. A lot of people don't want to hear it, because at first when I heard it, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, well, on Easter, I really do, I think about Yahweh, Yeshua, on the cross, what He did for me, that kind of stuff. And that is a wonderful, beautiful thing. I think that we should think about that every single day, not just on the Christian holiday called Easter. But anyways, I know it's very, very hard to explain, because it has a deceptive shell. But a lot of people, when they think about celebrating Passover, they think, okay, only Jewish people do that. So if you celebrate Passover, you must be Jewish. You must have changed your religion or something. But in the Bible, in Torah, it tells us to celebrate Yahweh's feast days and His Sabbath and not man's. Yeshua constantly warned us of not following man's tradition, because when we follow man's tradition, we get into religion, and we get into rules that blind us, that drag us down, and that just keep us buried, and never fully come to a relationship with Yahweh, Yeshua. But when we follow, a lot of people might say, well, if you're following, Passover, Yom Kippur, Saturday, Sabbath, isn't that all rules? It's not, because it is Yahweh's guidelines for our life, for His blessings, and when we follow Yahweh versus man's way, we're not religious people. We're serving our God. That's who we're serving, and that's what I want to serve. And I don't want to mix in pagan roots and modern Christianity, or what a lot of people call Christianity. You can't mix those two, because in the Bible it says you cannot eat at the Lord's table and at the devil's table at the same time. You can't mix them, and paganism is of Satan, and you can't mix those two. And Easter and Christmas have a lot of pagan roots. You'd be surprised to find that Yahweh warns and bans, setting up of Christmas trees in Jeremiah 10:1. Go read it for yourself if you don't believe me. He talks about that how do not be like the heathens are. Do not chase after what they do, for they go out in the wilderness and cut down an evergreen and set it up and deck it with silver and gold. I mean, how much more obvious is that? And churches have brought traditions from paganism into Christianity to try to get pagans to convert to Christianity, and all the pagans did was bring in more of their paganism, and it infiltrated the churches, and it's still infiltrating the churches. And you can do the research. Don't just believe me. Study your Bible. Study the Old Testament. The Torah. Study that. It's not old. It's not a thing of the past. Yahweh never changes. His guidelines are for all generations. He says in the Torah to celebrate the Passover, celebrate His feast days for all generations, not just for Abraham's day and for their day, but for all generations. Even Yeshua celebrated the Passover, and you can find that in the Bible, and so did the apostles. And it didn't happen until years later, till a Christian emperor of Rome came in and Christianized a lot of pagan traditions and stuff. And so, as I said, we're infiltrated in our modern churches today. For centuries we have been, and we've had blinders put on our eyes. Not that the people who do celebrate Christmas or Easter are pagans or anything like that, but it is just about coming out from among them, not mixing Yahweh's true days with pagan mixed-in days, and I know that it's very hard to hear, but I think that serving Yahweh to the T is the most greatest gift that you can give Him. And what Yeshua did for us, I don't want to have anything to do with paganism. I don't want that, and I really do believe that Yahweh is not pleased with the way things are going. And Easter Bunny, Easter eggs, Santa Claus, that kind of stuff is all from Satan. It really is. And a lot of people want to say, but it's having fun. Your kids are having fun, but it's not about having fun, because you can have fun, riding your bike or doing something else like that. But we do find sure joy in serving Yahweh and not serving traditions of men and not being stuck, in everything else, because even unbelievers celebrate Christmas, and Easter with that, Easter Bunny, that kind of stuff. That has nothing to do with Yeshua, nothing. And it's all worldly stuff. It is. There's so much worldly stuff. You could come into my house and it is worldly. And we've got to really, think about things and set ourselves apart. And me and my husband are trying every single day to just set ourselves apart, studying the Bible more and just getting rid of stuff we don't need, because that kind of stuff is that's what life's all about. Life's about Yahweh and Yeshua, and it's just about serving them, no matter what anybody says. And as these true believers, we are going to be persecuted, set apart, and not understood as a peculiar people, crazy even. So, yeah. But some websites to check out are tomorrowsworld.org, toolong.com, and torahlifeministries.com with Paul Nision. All great. Talk about traditions of Easter, paganism, Christmas, all that kind of stuff. So check them out. I'll put the links below, and I'll check out you guys later. Bye.